Known for its eye-catching cosmetics, Holbrook introduces a brand new high-performance paddle, the Power Pro. Weighing in roughly 7.7 to 8 ounces and offered in a 12, 14, and 16 millimeter thickness, featuring an Edgecraft foam injected polypropylene honeycomb core and a Force-Tec Unidirectional T700 carbon fiber hitting surface. A mouthful of technology, but a paddle variety sure to please the pickiest of player. Now Jason, we've hit with most of the Holbrook line of paddles. This was my favorite of the bunch. What did you think?
Yeah, I have to agree. This is the most premium feeling paddle I've hit with from the Holbrook line. The build quality is really, really nice. And I believe this is the first paddle from Holbrook that uses that raw carbon face. And I really like that because it was allowing me to hit with tons of spin, whether I was kind of doing undercutting on the ball or I was going over the top and trying to hit top spin on my drive shots. You like to hit with a lot of spin too. What'd you think?
Yeah, I definitely got a lot of spin out of this paddle. It was noticeably on a lot of my forehand drives. I was trying to crank a lot of spin and I was consistently hitting the top of the net. So I had to make an adjustment, try to adjust my launch trajectory just to compensate for that spin. Now obviously the thinner paddles are going to be a bit less forgiving on off-center shots than the 16 due to the differing weights and thicknesses, but I felt like the foam that was injected into the edge was really nice. I felt good vibration dampening, felt like it enhanced the sweet spot, and I felt like the 16 really shined in both comfort and forgiveness. What do you think?
Yeah, the 16 was my favorite of the two that we've tested. I just felt like not only was it giving me a little bit more forgiveness, but I was also getting a little bit more control. These paddles feel like they definitely have a lot of pop to them, and that 16 millimeter thickness was allowing me to control and reel back some of that power so I can kind of swing away a little bit more. And speaking of, you mentioned the dampening technology. The one slight negative for me here, as you mentioned, was that foam on the edge guard, and it felt just a little bit too muted for me at times. I just couldn't really get a nice feel for it on my touch shots and my dink shots. What did you think of that power level?
Yeah, I felt like on full swings, I was really getting a lot behind the ball, putting a lot of good pace. If I was going to compare this to another line of paddles, I would say it plays very similarly to the Engage Pursuit Pro MX line of paddles. It's just got a ton of power without sacrificing too much control. Overall, I feel like this is a valuable addition to the Holbrook line of paddles, where I feel the other paddles in the line just weren't kind of holding up to my play style. And I feel like the 16 is a really good blend of power and control, but I really preferred the 14 as a power paddle.
Well, unlike you, Will, I do prefer the 16 a little bit more. As I talked about before, I just felt like the 16 gives me a bit more control, a bit more forgiveness, and that's why I prefer the 16. But I do agree, these Holbrook paddles are fantastic to the line. They feel very premium, very high quality, and a great paddle for intermediate to advanced level players. For more information on this paddle or anything else pickleball related, make sure you go to totalpickleball.com.